Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Timpedia. I recognize that this is coming on the tail end of an almost daily vlog, and I don't even know how cohesive I'm going to be. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, but I literally just finished the book. I'm not going to pull it up. I have my Kindle in my hand. I literally just finished the Star Wars book, Crucible. Now, I'm going to talk about Star Wars. I haven't talked about Star Wars in a while. I mentioned it in my almost daily. I need to talk about Star Wars. I need to talk about what I feel is wrong with Star Wars right now. This has nothing to do with Disney buying Star Wars. Nothing. Nothing's come of that yet, so we don't even know if that's good or bad. I think it's going to be good. I don't fucking know. That's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about protecting Star Wars as it makes sense. Now, I recognize that with episodes 7, 8, and 9, they're going to rewrite everything. They're going to fucking toss out tons of the expanded universe. I don't fucking care. I have my canon that makes sense. Now, I recognize that every fan has their own idea what the canon is, and there's also this official Lucas thing where he's got different tiers of canon. I don't fucking care. I have the Timpedia canon that works for me. Now, obviously, I have to expand it. Obviously, it's not a lockdown thing, but I also think it's bullshit how much the canon's being destroyed. The canon that I see is dying, and it pisses me off. Well, okay, a little bit. That's a little over dramatic. But I need to talk about this. A lot of the problems started with the Old Republic. Now, Knights of the Old Republic was fucking great. Up to that point, a lot of the Star Wars universe timeline had not really been written. There was not a lot known, so you had plenty of leeway to work with. It made sense. There's so much I want to talk about. It made sense. KOTOR 2 made sense. Great. Then we get the Old Republic last year, and even in the beginning, I was like, this looks so cool, but fuck, I don't like this, because we don't need another fucking Jedi-Sith war. We don't need it. And it's like, the only stories that can be written at this point are the galactic threat stories with the same characters. I just finished Crucible. Crucible is, besides the Legacy comics, which fuck the Legacy comics, they are, I kind of count them as canon, just because there's nothing out there yet. There's nothing but that beyond Crucible. Crucible is a story about Luke, Han, Leia, Luke's son, kind of, Lando. Again, he starts out important, doesn't really end up important. And it's like, ever since the fucking Clone Wars TV show, which I will never acknowledge as liking, because fuck that bullshit. Ahsoka, I don't care if it was good. I don't want to watch it. I don't care how bad this makes me sound. Fuck that. Anakin Skywalker, you never was fucking apprentice. It's so irritating. And the art style and the whatever. It's not worth discussing. But apparently there was this Mortis monolith thing that came up with these Force gods being in this place. Day of the Jedi, the book series, started out okay, then this shit started to pop up, and I got kind of annoyed. It's like, God, there's Force gods and everything. Can't the Force just be the Force? It's literally like this all-binding thing. Like, you don't have to have a god figure. You don't have to have anything. It's literally an energy field that surrounds us and binds us all together. That's what the Force is. There's no fucking gods that run the Force and make it light or dark and keep the balance. It's fucking... it just pissed me off. Now Crucible keeps going with that. There's this fucking... The end of the book, there's like a gateway to this other monolith that's like literally the Force is just there. Like, everything is encompassed by the Force, but it's like supercharged. Like it's literally, okay, there's static electricity in the air all around you, right? You could even, that's compared to the Force right now, I don't fucking care. There's static electricity in the air around you right now. Imagine then walking into a room literally with lightning. Like it's all lightning everywhere. There's like bolts fucking all the time everywhere. That's what this place is like. And Luke and Leia like turn into the, like they almost merge with the Force, and they like leave their bodies and then they remake their bodies, and Han has to like, Han's in there but he's not feeling the Force because he doesn't accept these shadows. Why are there only shadows that can give people the Force? These shadows in there can give non-Force users the Force, but they're all dark side, but for some reason Han can't absorb like light side energy. And Han, like Leia kind of reforms herself because of Han, and then Han has to like walk her through their memories in like 2 milliseconds, and she's okay, and then Luke just appears and he's fine, and Leia looks young but Luke looks old because Luke's wise and Leia forgot everything, and then they just leave and they all retire. And that's how the book ends. Luke, Han, Leia all say we're done. We are retiring, we're going on a trip. We don't know, Luke's going on his own thing and Han and Leia are going on a vacation. That's what they say, that's how the book ends. And Luke's just like, fuck it, the Masters can run the Order, they're fine without me. And Luke has this like cosmic revelation when he becomes one with the Force for like half a second, and then he reforms, and he has all these revelations. And it's like, and the Star Kai needs to fucking die. She's the, God, I hate her. Like, very rarely do I actually get invested in characters, but fuck the Star Kai. Ben Skywalker is the shit, and she fucked him up. And like literally, like not he's ruined. Like she, like he's not a bad character. Like she actually fucked him up. She was a bitch, and fuck her, and fuck Ship. Ship needs to just, someone needs to just like fucking on Yavin 4 during the Jedi Academy trilogy, they rip the Star Destroyers, or they push the Star Destroyers away from Yavin with the Jedi. Just take that and do that to Ship. Just crush Ship into a fucking ball the size of my fist. Ship is the biggest piece of garbage. Meditation spheres suck. They're the worst. Look, I'm getting invested in this. Clearly I give a shit about Star Wars. And Abeloth was the worst. It feels like my problem right now with Star Wars, back to the original point, God, I got going. My problem is that the good guys never feel powerful, never, until the final fight. They're always running around, they don't know what they're doing, and then they just win the final fight because of a plan. Now, it just feels like Star Wars is too convenient for too long. Like there's too little struggle. Like Han gets tortured in this, and it's actually kind of a cool, like creepy, sadistic sabacc game going on, which is a cool scene in Crucible. But then at the end, they just kind of are like, the good guys are never one up. Never. It's just like the people. I know it's like basic storytelling. You don't make your guy overpowered, but in an expansive universe like Star Wars, I feel like you could kind of get away with it because like Luke Skywalker is the Grand Master of the Jedi Order, and there's a scene in the book where literally Luke and Leia are fighting, and the Star Kai just pops out behind them, throws some grenades at them, and just runs the fuck away, and Luke and Leia like have to stop a pursuit because of this going on, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Just, you should instantly have sensed that and just hurl it right back. Don't even look. Don't even look. Luke just be like, grenade, whoop, boom, gone. The star blows up. Everybody's happy. And like they always, there's always the remnant of the bad guy who gets away. And Murta Gev is in there, and she wants to get the nanobots, and no one will get this if you didn't read Fate of the Jedi, but she wants to get the nanobots off Mandalore. And she's so dumb to believe the Columni in the book, the two evil guys can fucking do it. And it's like there's also this really old revenge story. I don't know if I read the book or not. I don't know if it was in a book. The two villains in this book, basically their mother was like mentally brain dead from a blaster shot to the brain in one of the books, and apparently Han was involved. I don't remember this. It sounds kind of like something from the Han Solo adventures, but I don't remember. I haven't read those in a long time. But anyway, God, I keep getting distracted by Crucible. I just fucking read it. And now I'm actually going into the Dawn of the Jedi. Literally the farthest back book ever written. That excites me. Because, I'm trying to get into this point. Star Wars needs to stop making up conflicts. We get it that big galactic war brings pressure onto you. Like, nothing is more omnipresent than galactic war. But fuck, this goes back to the Old Republic, just out of nowhere. Naga Sadow, Great Hyperspace War. Yeah, Great Hyperspace War. Fucking look at that, I just know it. I'm not looking at Wikipedia, although I might have to pull it up. But Naga Sadow gets defeated, goes to Yavin 4. The Republic smashes the Sith Empire, kicks them off Korriban and everything, I think. Or they just kill him and then leave him there. They beat him up and leave him. And then the Old Republic comes up with this whole new story where this Emperor just rises out of nowhere, and he's immortal because of a new Force power, and it's just, like, he lives forever and starts this new empire the Republic never encounters, and they all look like stormtroopers in the armor. Like, fuck, there's two problems. They keep making up these big wars when there is a timeline. I don't have them here, they're all at home, but all those big guidebooks this thick, I've read them all. The timeline is kind of established. I'm not saying you can't fit shit in, but enough with the Galactic Civil War. Enough with the Galactic War. We don't need another Jedi, Sith, all-encompassing Galactic War. We don't need another one. We don't. Stop writing them. Getting back to the KOTOR now. Another reason KOTOR was so good compared to so many other games was that KOTOR told a personal story. So did Jedi Outcast. Fuck if I know what else off the top of my head. Not Force Unleashed. Fuck, I don't count that as canon. Maybe the first, not the second. I don't care if it's Lucas written. I have a canon, and I don't give a fuck what he says. He threw it all away when he fucking started screwing with everything like an asshole. He threw away his rights. I don't care if he created it. It's not his anymore. It's public domain, Star Wars. But personal stories. Literally, Jedi Outcast had no galactic civil war. The Imperial Remnant was on the run. No giant Sith invasion. But it told a small-scale conflict. In the galactic scheme of things, it could have gotten big. Could have gotten big. There was the Sith cult, fuck, that wasn't Jarek, that was earlier. It was Dasan and his cult. Yeah, I only played the game one time and I remember that shit. Dasan, the dinosaur guy, and his cult, that's a big deal. Big deal. Sith cult running around, that's a big problem. But it's not a galactic war, and yet you give a shit about Katarn. Katarn's a badass. You give a shit about the story. You're worried about what's going to happen, but it doesn't have to be all-encompassing on the galaxy. You could go up to a random person and they'd be like, fuck, thank God there's no galactic war going on right now. Instead, we just keep... I get it. The Old Republic had to do it because it was an MMO. There's no real thing to build an MMO off of other than a giant-ass war. And you could forgive them for making up a new one because none of the other ones really fit. We already know what happened in the Jedi Civil War with Revan and Malak. And there's no, if you want to create a game where people can run around swinging lightsabers and shooting blasters and all that shit, you need a big war. Okay, that kind of gives it a buy, but still I don't like this whole new war. It doesn't sit right with me. There's all these other things, and the timeline just doesn't feel like it works correctly. Reading the books of the Old Republic, like Satele Shan, it feels like she's like a really young Grandmaster of the Order and she doesn't deserve to be. It just doesn't, the timeline doesn't feel right. Like, this war seems to go on forever. Like, the wars that don't end. Wars have to peter off. They don't, it's just, nothing about the Old Republic story arc fits right with me, and the whole Revan thing, don't get me fucking... I actually kind of liked the Revan book. I actually kind of liked that. Obviously, not everyone's gonna like it because it's fucking Revan. I mean, few characters in Star Wars universe are more universally recognizable and different because it was an RPG. Making Revan an established character kind of works because there was always a canon ending. The canon ending is the light side for KOTOR 1 and 2. KOTOR 1, Revan's a man. KOTOR 2, the Exile's a woman. That's the established canon. I can live with that, because in a game where you have choices, if you want to have a canon work, you have to establish what the right ending is. And obviously you're going to go with the light side, because the dark side fucked everything up. Obviously Obsidian made their game based on the light side, so... And then the Exile, well, she wasn't going to be evil and run Malachor 5, that would fuck up everything. So, the Revan book was as good as it was going to get. I don't see the Revan book getting much better. Like, he kind of walked the line between light and dark, and it kind of worked. But then the ending... Fuck, where they have to control... Like, going in, Revan can't succeed because the Emperor's still alive a couple hundred years later. And I guess you could claim that that's the problem with all Star Wars books. Like, they're going to live, so there's less threat. Which is why I want them to keep moving forward. Keep going forward. I don't care if you make a new war in the future. I can kind of forgive you Legacies. Fuck Legacy because of Cade Skywalker. I hate that sack of shit. But fuck, the war is okay. The war works. The Imperial Remnant makes a deal with the Sith, who have been in hiding, which is established. They train Jason. Why am I forgetting the Solo kid? Jason Solo. What the fuck was I thinking? Jason gets corrupted by them indirectly through Lumia and Vergery. It's fine. That works. They're an established side thing, and it comes out and Crate and the whole thing. As premise, it works. But we don't need to go back in time and make a new war. And you know why it really pisses me off? Because no one can get over the Star Destroyer and no one can get over the fucking Stormtroopers. Every single fucking war has to have a Star Destroyer and Stormtroopers. Look, tell me, even KOTOR, tell me the ships, at least they kind of messed with it. Like, they made triangular ships, because triangular ships make sense in space. Like, basic shipbuilding principles on water is you have a wedge, so you go through the water, and that, obviously that mentality fits into space. Even if it's not designed to go on land, or in the atmosphere, you're going to build it that way because it makes sense. So you can get away with that. But they still went out of their way to have it like this cool, curved thing with this open space in between. It was kind of different. It was different enough to look interesting. And the Sith troopers at least had a big face mask, which was kind of ridiculous. It wasn't perfect technology. It was this big thing. It was all one plate right here instead of two little eyepieces. And it wasn't perfect, but it made sense. And the Republic troopers just had these crazy helmets and the bright orange and everything, and it wasn't effective. the Republic hadn't really had to use a military since they had the Mandalorian Wars, and then that calmed down, and then the Jedi Civil War popped me up immediately. The Republic had no time to change uniforms. But I mean, okay, that works. And you could see in other circumstances where the Republic Hammerhead was the coolest thing because it wasn't a Star Destroyer. It was a big fucking hammerhead with a ship behind it, and it actually kind of looked like that. And it fucking cruised along, had giant turbo lasers. It was awesome that they did things differently. And then you just look at the Old Republic, and it's like every ship in the Sith fleet is a Wedge ship. Every Republic ship is kind of like mishmash still. It's like you can't get out of the Rebels and Empire mindset. What if the Republic had the triangular warships and the Sith had the bulbous ones? I know that doesn't fit. I don't fucking care. Just I feel like we have to break Star Wars has to break the mold. And the problem is it makes sense, so you can't go too far, but like try something a little different. Like if you go way back to the Great Hyperspace War, the ships look weird. They didn't really have super great space travel, so they all look like these big weird ass looking things. The Yuzhong Vong, I don't even like them that much as a storyline or as a books. Like I went over this in my top 10. The books are too many. I can't read it again. But fucking the Yuzhong Vong with these weird alien designed ships, nothing is the same, and they're all organic, and they all have these weird shapes and everything. That's fucking cool. It mixes up the formula, and I get that you can't really get away with that with mechanical systems. It just feels like they played up in the Galactic Civil War how revolutionary the Star Destroyer was. And you could see at the end of the Clone Wars, the Republic was starting to go with the Wedge, but it wasn't perfect. It was really narrow, and not great. Mostly just carriers and things like that. And you could see, and in the books it's explained more, how that evolved into the Star Destroyer. Great. But why does it feel like all the ship design would have to keep recessing after each great war? Oh, we forgot how to build Wedge ships. We go back to the Republic building whatever the hell they want to build, these bulbous ships. And then as soon as Tyranny starts popping up, Tyranny's got to have the Star Destroyers. Even just have like a point ship, like the Confederacy had some great ships. The fucking Muralist frigate with like the weird dome here, and then like the base thing back here, and the Recussant, which was just like a long thing with a couple bulbs on it and a couple prongs for engines. Fucking cool ass ships. You don't have to fucking have the Wedge. It bugs me how stagnant things feel. That's the main point of this vlog. How things feel so stagnant to me. We always have to have a great galactic threat. Star Wars needs to be personal, okay? That's my fucking point here. Star Wars, 23 minutes in. Star Wars needs to get some personal stories. We have heard to death of Luke Skywalker, Leia Solo, Han Solo, and that's about it. Those three fucking got everything. We know who they are, and they're still forcing them to go through character growth. Fucking, oh my god. About 50 years of stories, like literally we've covered 50 years of their lives uninterrupted for maybe a year or two. Like, that's fucking nuts. We know what happens to them. That's not a personal story anymore. They are heroes. Revan was not a hero. Revan was you. Kyle Katarn was you. They were both flawed, and you played through their stories. Katarn made his own decisions, but you were playing as him and you felt a connection to him. Revan, you made your choices and you decided what happened. Star Wars needs something new. Star Wars needs a new character that is in the future. Keep going. Technology the past is already kind of fucked because, like, technology hasn't advanced in like 20,000 years. Like, are you fucking kidding me? We get new smartphones every few months, and you're telling me the Star Wars universe, like during Fate of the Jedi, they're like, oh, we designed these turbo lasers that can shoot really far, but they have to shut down like the whole ship to fire them. Like, are you fucking kidding me? How much has technology really gotten better in these intervening years? It doesn't fucking seem like much. Like a couple thousand years? Like, we got our new medical droid, he's a little better. In fucking 10 years. And it's like it's like in the moment they act like all this technology is new and shit, but it's like, how did no one come up with this when we've seemed to have been at the same level for a couple thousand years? Is it like only during great conflict? Like, I know the argument that war is the great innovator. Like, a lot of innovations like medicine and things like that come out of war, when we need to design things to combat the enemy. But come on, you can't tell me no one in the galaxy is working on researching a new way to fucking fire a turbo laser. I mean, really? You're gonna fucking tell me that no one's even tried to make a better turbo laser since fucking Malik? I mean, come on, Dick, come on. 3,000, 4,000 years? 4,000 less. Okay, less than 4,000. Mr. Corrector, whoever you are out there watching this. Although who the fuck you are, I don't know, but hey, cool. It just bothers me. Like, I feel like there needs to be more personality and freshness in Star Wars, and it's gonna be, or it's gonna fade. I mean, there's a huge following of Star Wars. People give such a shit about it, and I do too. I love Star Wars. It sounds so silly to say. I wouldn't read all these books if I didn't give a shit. I love it. I liked Crucible. Crucible was cool anyway. I just feel like we need more change and more newness and more, like Ben Skywalker. Seeing him evolve over Fate of the Jedi was so good. Watching him go through this whole thing with Vistara. It's the reason I hate her so much, because I love Ben. Ben is like if Luke Skywalker grew up in post-Galactic Civil War, where there's a Jedi Academy and shit like that. But Ben's also different. He's more adventurous. He has some of his mother in him. He has his mother's flaming red hair, and he's also Mara. He's the investigator that Luke could never be, and he's great. Go with Ben. It's a puzzle. We have to see what happens. There's no real tons of books announced. There's a Maul book, because fuck, we need to hear more about Darth Maul, right? It's basically him going on a kill fest again. We've heard this in a couple, the few e-books and things like that he has. It's just a kill fest. Oh, I'm Maul, I'm super deadly. Maul's not an interesting character. There's another Rebellion era story. Let me see what upcoming novels there are. It's called Razor's Edge. I think it might have just come out even. Let's check Wikipedia. That's where I get my info when I forget. Oh wait, list of books. There we go. I'm just looking through. No. All things I've read. What happened to the Knight Errant era? Just gone. Fucking nothing. Nothing has happened. I think the comics are still coming out, or did finish. Well, like the one book, which is actually kind of cool, although flawed, as I did in my review years ago. Yeah, Darth Maul Shadow Hunt. Darth Maul Lockdown. That's what it is. It's like, oh, we need Darth Maul's in the most secure prison in the galaxy, even though we've heard that a million times. Han was that one too. Star's End. One of the most secure prisons in the galaxy. Star's End, seriously, it's Han Solo Adventure book. Remember it. What else do we have? Sorry, I'm just... Kenobi, I haven't read that yet, that's out. That actually sounds kind of interesting. That's Kenobi right after episode 3, adjusting to life on Tatooine, having to play it low. That's actually kind of cool. I'm going to read that one next. I'm catching up on Star Wars books. I've been reading other stuff for a while. I got the Humble ebook bundle months ago, number 2. Been reading that for a while. Wasn't there a 4th book in the Coruscant Nights? Wait a second. There was a 4th book. What happened to that? The Last Jedi, there it is. Did that already come out? Yeah, it did. Jedi Dawn. I think I did read this. Yeah, I did. I don't remember how it ended. Shows how much I remember. Jax Pavon, I remember him though, but I don't remember what happens. Shadow Games, Red Land, Scoundrels, Legions, Choices of One, Empire and Rebellion, Razor's Edge. What's this the story of? Focusing on Leia? Okay. Focus on Leia, go ahead. She's actually probably the least developed of the 3. Han had 6 books about him, and Luke is Luke, so you know what Luke does. Is there even anything else? Like, there's just nothing. Those are all ebooks. It's so weird. Like, I feel like they expanded this book with list with ebooks, or I just forgot some of the ebook titles. I remember coming through here a while ago, and I was like, oh, all these new books. But no, they were just ebooks. I forgot the titles of because they were like a lot of the books in paperback or even Kindle form. When a real book comes out, they'll just add an ebook that they had. Both had a Practical Man, an ebook that went with Sacrifice, which was way later, which was crazy. Crosscurrent, Riptide, yeah, Crucible. So there's like literally 2 books that I haven't read yet. Kenobi, Razor's Edge. There's nothing else announced. Nothing. Unless Wikipedia isn't up to date, but fuck, and I don't care about comics. Comics doesn't affect me. I've gone over in my top 10 how I didn't really like comics. Man, there's just nothing. What if there's more of these guides? The Essential Characters, that's an update. Essential Reader's Companion, I think I got that one. It's not out yet. Essential Characters, yeah, it needs to be updated. If anything gets outdated quick, it's the Characters book. I remember the 2nd generation of the Essential Guides. I love those books, by the way. Get them if you can. Those are the ones I read for reference for a lot of stuff. Characters is one that really... Yeah, Reader's Companion I did get. So, waiting on the Essential Characters, which will add a shit ton of characters. Like, the last one came out when Dala was still floating around. That just goes to show how old that was. Like, she came back in Legacy of the Force. Like, that's all missing. Legacy and Fate of the Jedi? Fuck, man, there's a lot to fucking catch up on. There's a lot for them to update. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. See, also... What if this has upcoming release dates? Yeah, Razor's Edge came out 2 days ago as of this recording going into the 26th. And there's nothing upcoming. Nothing. Except for the mall thing. I don't know why it's not listed. Maybe it's only released things already. But you get what I'm saying? Like, the point of this long rant is that I'm worried about Star Wars. In that I feel like they need a new personal story. Preferably a video game. Absolutely. RPGs were great. But a book would be cool too. But don't use Jaden again. Don't do Crosscurrent. That didn't go great. Don't do a time travel. Don't do fucking time travel or zombies. You could tell they were experimenting because they came up with Crosscurrent and Death Troopers, I think in the same year, within a year of each other. Clearly they went through an experimental phase. What's popular? Let's try that in Star Wars. Time travel, fucking zombies. Both don't work. Don't do them. They don't work. Just build a personal story with even a minor galactic event. Like the Jedi Academy game invented a new cult that just popped up because of a minor thing in Jedi Outcast. Make a new cult. Who cares? We could talk about a cult being put down. It doesn't have to be something that people would talk about. The problem with the Galactic War is that people are going to fucking talk about a galactic war as an easy frame of reference. Just go with something minor. It doesn't have to be galaxy crushing. Tavion and the Scepter of Marka Ragnos burning the Force out of shit is great for a Jedi or someone who knows the Jedi, but not for the citizens at large. They don't give a shit. They don't know about it. They don't fucking care. They don't know what's going on. They're not worried. Galactic War, everyone knows that's happening. We need more personality. We need a character to latch onto. Revan was so good, and he's so good partially because he only got one game and a book, but that was way later. But yeah, everyone's like, Revan was so cool. Do something like that. I'm not even saying do the guy with amnesia. You don't have to do that, just do a Jedi. Do a Sith. Do something, do a bounty hunter that's a real dick. It doesn't have to be, don't even do like Boba Fett or anything. Don't even do the smuggler like Han Solo. Don't reuse an archetype. Dash Rendar has, with Shadow Games, became a little too close to Han Solo. It's just a little bit. Don't do that. Do something new. Do a story about a kid in poverty who never leaves his home planet. I don't know. Do something we can find interest in and want to learn about a character. Like, there was a kid, Coruscant Nights trilogy, where Jax Bond finds a kid who has ridiculous force powers, but is like has like wild tantrums and is like super not in control, and it's like a fire burning him with the force, and like it has to come out because he has so much energy that just builds up so fast and he has to release it. That would have been, imagine taking that kid's story and put him on a planet, and the Jedi don't check there. Put it even during the New Jedi Order, with not like the Yu Zhongfang, like the New Jedi Order run by Luke. Put it in that time period, and just have him be on a planet they don't check, and he starts to get these crazy force events happening. And he starts having these outbursts of power, and he eventually comes to the attention of the Jedi. They hear this weird stuff's happening on this planet. This kid's doing weird stuff. He's like outbursts of energy and shit, and it seems like Jedi stuff, so let's call the Jedi. And the Jedi come, and the kid is scared. He's scared of Jax. But Jax saves his life, so the kid goes with him. But the Jedi don't save his life, so the kid runs. The kid runs and hides, steals a starship, punches in random coordinates, and ends up on a random planet. And then he hides from the Jedi because he's afraid of joining them, but he's also not evil. He's not a dark side guy. He doesn't want to do bad, but he's just not. The Jedi just came to him and didn't really seem to offer him a choice, so he doesn't really like the Jedi either. And he founds a new order of Grey Knights. How's that? That sounds pretty fucking cool to me. We had like the end of Republic Commando. Oh fuck, the Jedi chick with the crazy name, I don't even fucking remember. She meets Callista and the Grey Knights. Do a fuck ton with them. They're literally people who are inherently good, but are not nearly as rigid as the Jedi. That is so ripe for writing. How do you not take that? Literally, steal my idea, I don't fucking care, but how cool would it be if we had a random Force user in the time of like, fuck it, you could even make it during post-Fate of the Jedi, when the Galactic Alliance like hates the Jedi, and there's a lot of stupid people in the populace who don't like Jedi, but this kid comes along, grows up during the Fate of the Jedi thing, and he's scared of the Jedi, but he's not a bad guy, and he doesn't want to join the Sith. He just wants to be a Force user who helps people, and doesn't want to. He doesn't mind working with the Jedi, but he's not going to be a Jedi. But he founds his own Order of Grey Knights, and they are accepted by the populace because they're seen to just do good, and they don't have the same rules as the Jedi, so they get along better. But they're kind of this bridge, so they're kind of bringing Force users back in. Could you fucking imagine what a gold mine that would be? I think that's a pretty awesome sounding idea. That sounds badass. The first Grey Knight of the Fate of the Jedi and post-era. I'm done. I would love to read about that. That would be so cool. So cool. I think that would really be fun. Imagine a video game as him? Could you imagine doing what Luke Skywalker does in a video game? You had to found a new Order of Jedi, but you can sort of build off of what Luke's done, so it's not as hard. You don't have to take decades to do it. You could start putting stuff together, and you could even talk to Luke Skywalker and try to find out some of the apprentices he's worried about, but he doesn't feel like will cut it as Jedi. He doesn't want the strictures of being a Jedi, but he also knows that, like, you guys need to be watched, so he's like, he makes a deal, and you could do anything. Such an opportunity. Put a story or a video game or something in the Fate of the Jedi Expanded Universe, and it won't happen. Because Disney is making a movie. They're going to wipe it all out. I'm not going to let it. I'm not going to forget it. I'm not going to. But they're not going to see it as real anymore. It sucks. Why would you take this whole universe that you've written all these books for and people give a huge shit about? Why would you undo that? Like, with the movies are worked in the expanded universe and everything. Nothing is overriding, but now with 3 new movies, shit's gonna get overdone. Could have made Thrawn trilogy, could have made millions of dollars, billions of dollars even, probably, doing the Thrawn trilogy as a series of movies. Fuck me. You couldn't print money fast enough if you made the Thrawn trilogy into the next movie series, but no. They're going to rewrite the expanded universe. They're going to steal a couple ideas, like the kids of the Solos, I think, is the rumor. It's depressing. And there's no way for anyone else to make a game about it because it's a tight as fuck lockdown license. Maybe they'll let people do... No, they wouldn't even do that. I don't know. It's a depressing thing to think about, but I'm only talking about it because I love Star Wars. Alright guys, I'm going to go. It's really late at night and I should have been in bed 2 hours ago. I'm only up because I got out of bed, turned my computer on to record this. So I hope I wasn't rambling too much. I hope you guys got something out of it. And yeah, I'm going to go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the rant. But until next time, my name is Timpedia and I will catch you guys later.